Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
Jason Momoa was unexpected.
They say all you have to do to make your wish come true is let it echo, 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 echo.
It's awful, generic. Never mind that the lyrics make no sense at all. All you have to do to make your dream come true is let it echo. Is it like on a metaphor?
Me? What are you talking?
Jason Momoa allegedly ripping into Rachel Zegler isn't just some wild rumor. It's become the hottest topic in the industry. Word is, Rachel's trying to deflect the blame for her Snow White disaster by pointing fingers at an unlikely target, the upcoming Minecraft movie. Critics are calling her out for dodging responsibility, and insiders say Momoa isn't having it. He's reportedly called her out in the most brutal, no-nonsense way possible.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Remaking the movie, they just got rid of the dwarves. But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it, the disability, like we're a disability group, you just erase that whole.
It's a direct clash no one saw coming, tense, explosive, and downright brutal. The vibe? Electric. The conversations? Heated. And the accusations? Sharp enough to slice through the fairy tale illusion. There's no sugarcoating this mess. The fallout is hitting fans like a tidal wave. Rachel Zegler, once hailed as the fresh face of Disney's new era, is now facing a full-blown social media reckoning. And at the center of it all, her shocking decision to point the blame at Minecraft.
She came out and she said, I apologize. Like, I went too far. But it wasn't sincere.
Rachel Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infantata is the only global solution.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of...
Last week was a very big week, objectively a huge week. We had quite a few announcements. It's first live-action film, which is Snow White and the Evil Queen. And that's me, I'm Snow White, which is so funny.
Hardcore. They're petrified of some kind of back.
What began as a quiet whisper in the corners of Hollywood has erupted into a full-blown firestorm. Rumors are swirling that Rachel Zegler, once hailed as the promising face of Disney's new era, attempted to deflect responsibility for the catastrophic reception of Snow White by pointing the blame at an entirely unrelated project, the upcoming Minecraft movie. She allegedly claimed that the exhausting demands of preparing for Minecraft sapped her energy and momentum, overshadowing what was supposed to be her grand moment with Snow White. But before that narrative could gain traction, Jason Momoa reportedly stepped in, and according to insiders, he didn't just challenge her story. He dismantled it. In what's being described as an unflinching and unapologetic confrontation, Momoa is rumored to have called Rachel out, refusing to let her sidestep responsibility for what many are calling one of Disney's greatest modern failures. The tension around this alleged exchange has ignited a firestorm across social media, sending shockwaves through the industry. And this is only the beginning. Let's not forget the numbers. Disney reportedly spent over $300 million on Snow White, yet it sits at a dismal 2.2 rating on IMDb. The film has been slammed for having no clear identity, with critics pointing out the bizarre creative choices, like reimagining Snow White as a character unrecognizable from the classic, and digitally scrubbing away the dwarfs in favor of vague, magical beings. Longtime fans were baffled by the tone-deaf changes, with some comparing Rachel's portrayal to Lord Farquaad and mocking the film's soulless reinterpretation of its source material. And yes, the infamous "go woke, go broke" phrase is being thrown around with abandon. The backlash wasn't just about bad storytelling, it was about a perceived betrayal of Disney's legacy. Fans expecting timeless charm and sincere romance were instead handed a modernized feminist take that scrapped the original's heart. Disney even removed the classic song "Someday My Prince Will Come," replacing it with a politically charged alternative that alienated more fans than it inspired. The marketing was relentless. Promos were everywhere. Anticipation was high. But when the film finally hit theaters, audiences walked out disappointed. Some silent, others furious. Critics trashed it for its confusing narrative and heavy-handed messaging. One viewer summed it up best. "This isn't Snow White. This is propaganda in a princess costume." And in the middle of this media storm, the rumor hit. Rachel had blamed Minecraft for it all. According to industry gossip, she claimed the demanding schedule for Minecraft interfered with her ability to promote Snow White and contribute to last-minute reshoots. But that explanation didn't sit well with fans, or Jason Momoa. The whispers say he caught wind of her comments and fired back, either in private or through industry channels, accusing her of making excuses and throwing another project under the bus to save face. The online reaction? Explosive. Fans erupted, calling out Rachel for dodging accountability. Many pointed out that if you sign onto multiple major projects, you accept the weight that comes with it. Blaming one film for another's failure just seemed desperate. And that's where Momoa allegedly became the face of no-nonsense realness. The actor, known for his brutal honesty and larger-than-life persona, reportedly told Rachel, again, either directly or through intermediaries, to own her flop and stop blaming others. Those exact quotes are still unconfirmed, of course, but they've gone viral, resonating with a public hungry for someone to cut through the spin. Forums exploded with support for Momoa's rumored stance. Memes portrayed him as the unstoppable wave crashing against a flimsy excuse. Some saw it as one A-lister standing up for accountability, others just loved the drama. But one thing was clear, Rachel's attempt to scapegoat Minecraft backfired spectacularly. The timing made things worse. Snow White had barely limped through its opening weekend when the blame game began. The idea that Rachel would point fingers at another massive project, especially one fans are genuinely excited about, just added fuel to an already raging fire. Minecraft is a cultural phenomenon, a globally adored game with massive creative potential. The notion that it somehow derailed her performance or prevented her from doing press for Snow White felt far-fetched, if not downright insulting. And then there's the optics. The Snow White remake was already under intense scrutiny long before the first trailer dropped. Rachel's past comments, where she dismissed elements of the original fairy tale and mocked its portrayal of love, rubbed audiences the wrong way. People began wondering if she even believed in the project she was starring in. That suspicion, coupled with her reported attempt to deflect blame, created a perfect storm of criticism. And then silence. Rachel offered no public response as the controversy escalated. The rumors of Momoa's blunt rebuke continued to spread, dominating fan discourse across TikTok, Reddit, Instagram, and beyond. People quoted him as saying things like, "Don't disrespect one blockbuster to save another." And while no one could verify if he actually said it, the sentiment stuck. Jason became the symbol of accountability. Rachel, the cautionary tale. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more heated, they did. Because what started as a failed movie became something far bigger, a debate about Hollywood's direction, about the pressure on young stars, about how legacy properties are handled in the modern age. And at the center of it all is a story about one actress, one massive flop, and one actor who supposedly wasn't afraid to call it exactly how he saw it. And trust me, it's not over yet. Jason Momoa is no stranger to controversy, nor is he known for holding his tongue. With a larger-than-life persona and a fierce commitment to authenticity, he's carved out a reputation as both a Hollywood powerhouse and an unapologetically blunt force in an industry often coated in gloss. That very presence, equal parts charisma and candor, makes him a cultural juggernaut. But now, he finds himself at the heart of a swirling firestorm involving none other than Rachel Zegler, a rising star whose ascent has been as rapid as it is fragile. Known for her roles in West Side Story, Snow White, and the upcoming Minecraft adaptation, Zegler is navigating a treacherous phase of early stardom where every word, every interview, every gesture can either solidify her legacy or tip her off balance. And lately, it seems the latter may be winning. The alleged tension between Momoa and Zegler has become the centerpiece of a growing drama, one that symbolically pits an established titan of epic franchises against a young actress still trying to find her footing. On one side stands Momoa, the veteran said to be calling for accountability. On the other, Zegler, possibly overwhelmed, potentially panicked, caught in the crosshairs of a PR disaster and seemingly fumbling for a lifeline. Fans are framing this as a generational standoff. Experience versus inexperience, grit versus image, forthrightness versus excuse-making. And with the story rapidly gaining steam, the stakes couldn't be higher. While some industry observers argue that the tension should have stayed behind closed doors, far more seem captivated by the public unraveling. Because if there's one thing that fuels modern Hollywood just as much as franchise IPs, it's conflict, and nothing gets the clicks like a high-profile behind-the-scenes battle. But with Zegler reportedly trying to deflect criticism of Snow White by pinning blame on her demanding Minecraft schedule, the entire debacle has evolved into something far bigger. Whispered rumors now suggest that Disney higher-ups were none too pleased with her remarks, seeing them as both damaging to the brand and needlessly provocative. Meanwhile, creatives on the Minecraft team are allegedly bracing themselves for residual damage before the movie even finishes production. In other words, no one appreciated the fallout. Some insiders have floated the theory that Rachel's pivot to Minecraft was never about the truth. It was a calculated move, a brand defense strategy meant to shift the blame onto something safer and external. But if that was the play, it may have backfired spectacularly. Because according to the rumor mill, Momoa stepped in and effectively shut the whole thing down. The whispers claim he not only rejected her explanation but outright challenged it, calling it what many perceived as a deflection tactic, a desperate attempt to sidestep accountability. That rumor, whether entirely factual or wildly exaggerated, struck a nerve with fans and spread like wildfire. And suddenly, what may have started as a simple PR stumble escalated into a full-blown Hollywood showdown. Some fans speculated that this wasn't just about Snow White or Minecraft, that perhaps deeper creative disagreements or philosophical divides existed between Momoa and Zegler long before any of this came to light. Maybe, they say, this was merely the spark that ignited something far more combustible, a clash not only of personalities, but of generational approaches to fame, failure, and responsibility. All the public has to go on are fragments, whispers, anonymous sources, and online fervor. But even in the absence of confirmed details, the narrative has taken on a life of its own. Snow White's failure, Zegler's alleged blame shifting, Momoa's rumored verbal smackdown, each twist more viral than the last. Suddenly, Rachel Zegler, once celebrated as a fresh face revitalizing old stories, now finds herself under scrutiny from every angle. Some fans feel betrayed by her perceived lack of reverence for Disney's legacy. Others, initially excited for Minecraft, now worry that her involvement may weigh the project down with controversy. Meanwhile, Jason Momoa's stock has only risen, with many praising him for, supposedly, cutting through what they see as Hollywood spin. But this isn't just about one feud. It's about the broader question of how stars, particularly young ones, navigate the fallout of failure in an era of relentless online judgment. The idea that one misstep, one poorly chosen remark, can snowball into career-threatening controversy is a reality of modern fame. And in that light, Zegler's attempt to redirect criticism may not have been malicious. It may have been desperate. Still, the damage is done. And if the rumors are true, Momoa's response didn't just pour gasoline on the fire, it lit the match. Now, the world is watching to see what comes next. Will Rachel Zegler weather the storm and prove she's more than one box office flop away from redemption? Or has this controversy marked her, fairly or not, as someone unwilling to take responsibility? Will Jason Momoa's alleged bluntness serve as a wake-up call for Hollywood's rising stars, or become a new standard for public accountability among A-listers? One thing is certain, the Rachel Zegler versus Jason Momoa saga is far from over. And as Minecraft nears release, the spotlight will only intensify. Whether it becomes the hit that lifts her back up, or the film forever entangled with a feud, remains to be seen. Because in Hollywood, perception is everything. And once the narrative slips from your hands, it's almost impossible to take it back.